Next up, Russ and I are going to talk about the Arrow releases for September and October, including Hellraiser and more. Welcome back to 4K Kings. My name is Matt.
I am Russ.
And welcome to your home of physical media, movie reviews.
We're the home of Christ.
Russ, we're back here again for another segment on physical media. After probably at this point all of our subscribers have left after our Barbenheimer review, we're going to try to regain their attention. Russ, we're back with some Arrow news for September and October. They've got quite the slate coming out, and we're going to be covering that. But before we do, I just wanted to give a few shout-outs. First shout-out I wanted to give is to us. 25,000 watch hours, our newest milestone that we've passed on this channel. And I just wanted to shout out again to all of you for watching us for as long as you have, or falling asleep with it on repeat, or whatever you've done. So what you do, you got all your family watching it, like 30 different computers running at all times.
I was going to say, special shout out to me. I bought 3 computers, and I just have our channel playing on a loop 24/7 throughout the year.
I owe you one.
Also want to give some shout outs for us to 3 special people in the audience. The first person I want to give a shout out to is a user by the name of Calmer Than You Dude. You dropped our name on Reddit as one of your favorite physical media channels, and we love you for that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Really appreciate that.
I completely love what you said. We don't want to come across as authorities in a sense, more just members of a community. Have some laughs at our expense, at our hobby's expense. You nailed us completely, and I appreciate that.
The next person, Russ, I want to give a shout out to is My 20 Guns.
I didn't realize you were stockpiling that.
Things are looking rough out there,
Dude,
Russ.
the government's not coming, okay?
No, Russ, My 20 Guns is a user who left a comment on our most recent video stating that one of the memes that we used was a meme that they created. And I wanted to give a shout out to them because it was a really funny ass meme. It's probably one of those things where it got passed around to this person, to that person, and I saw it like fourth hand, didn't even know where it originated from. But if you're telling the truth, My 20 Guns, which I'm sure you are, just wanted to say thank you for that, letting us use that.
Agreed. That was a dope meme.
And lastly, Russ, I want to give a shout out to Caesar Manila.
Who?
Another prolific commenter in our comment section. Caesar's a wild man. He's a maniac. I have no idea what's going on. At times, I think it's a bot. But Caesar has been dropping comment after comment after comment. The Austin Powers 3-movie collection, a part of Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary, coming this fall. Do you know something we don't? A lot of these are titles that I've not even heard being announced. So what I'm baffled by, Russ, is this a person with knowledge? Or is this just a crazy lunatic?
Are they trolling us?
I kind of hope it's the former and not the latter.
We have such sights to show you.
Out October 23rd on 4K Ultra HD in a box set is the Hellraiser Quartet of Torment. Ooh. Say that 5 times real fast. Quartet of Torment. Quartet of Torment. So, Russ, this is coming out at the end of October. Another great Halloween sort of themed release for their October slate. And this, as you know, was released back in 2016 in the Scarlet Box.
But the Scarlet Box was just 1, 2, and 3, right?
You're right, Russ. Yeah, I have the Scarlet Box right here, which I'd like to reference a few times this video just to point a couple of different things out. But this is a really great set. Now, you're right, Russ. This newest release has the 4th Hellraiser film. It's called Bloodline. So Arrow's bringing new 4K restorations for all of 4 of these films, original camera negative, 4K restorations for all 4, and a bunch of new extras too. To be honest, I was kind of surprised when I saw the extras list, but there's some things that they've also removed from the first set as well, which is a little bit of a drag. So we'll dive into that also. Hellraiser 4K, you are getting a new commentary. There are 2 new 60-minute conversations, one about Clive Barker's importance as a queer writer, and one about Hellraiser and the rest of Clive Barker's work. Plus, new visual essay and a newly discovered EPK with interviews shot during the making of. What's missing here is the documentary called Leviathan, which is what they called in their previous press release, the definitive documentary on the making of Hellraiser. That is currently not listed here. I don't know if that will be updated. I don't know why they wouldn't be carrying that over. It's a feature-length making of this film.
Wasn't definitive enough.
Not definitive enough. Then you got Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, which is, I think, a really awesome sequel. It's a 1-2 punch. As you know, I'm a big fan of these movies. Same thing here. New commentary, new 80-minute appreciation of the film, a new appreciation of the composer and his scores. But also missing Leviathan 2, the Hellraiser 2 definitive documentary. Missing.
Jesus wept.
Also, there was some never-before-seen sequence called the Surgeon Scene, which was, I guess, brought forth from the VHS back in the day. That was on the Scarlet Box, missing here. Then you got Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which here there's going to be just a new commentary. But once again, it's missing the Hell on Earth making of documentary. Why are these making of documentaries missing?
Oh, you suffer beautifully.
Lastly, Russ, you've got the Hellraiser Bloodline. And it's getting a new audio commentary, and it's getting a new featurette exploring the Cenobites, plus a touted new work print version of the film, which for people who are huge fans of Hellraiser Bloodline, and I know there's at least 5 of you out there, you're going to get that work print version.
Think of that.
It almost sounds like effects aren't done, like shit's not really like complete.
Yeah, but dude, if you're a fan, you want
want
to
it.
see that, especially if you feel that the released product was lackluster. Because 9 times out of 10, it's studio interference that's doing that.
I think it's giving collectors a warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that they've got some exclusive cut on there. No one's going to watch that work print.
No work of art is ever completed.
No one's going to watch Bloodline.
I think you're selling the fans short.
I'm not.
I'm not a big Hellraiser guy. Ironically, I've met Ashley Lawrence. She was a sweet person. Very nice.
There are a ton of these movies, just like there's a ton of a lot of, horror movies of this type. I personally watched 1 and 2, love 1 and 2 as together. As soon as you get to 3, stuff just starts to be a little bit more hokey.
I had no idea part 3 was called Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth.
And that's one of the best Mobb Deep albums ever.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. Like, if you said Hell on Earth to me, Mobb Deep's the first thing that comes to mind.
Now, they're also filling that disc up with the content that was on the previous 4th disc of the Scarlet Box. There was this 4th disc of all this Clive Barker like extras. They're taking all that and they're shoving it on the 4th disc for you. It's got a documentary on the evolution of the franchise, an archival appreciation of Clive Barker's literary works, but it is missing the short films of Clive Barker, which were included in that previous Scarlet Box disc. Now, with the new 4K restorations, which I'll add the Scarlet Box 2K restorations. So there is a possibility that these could get a pretty sizable upgrade.
And Arrow does a good job with that.
Yeah. The packaging options here, you have 2 different types. This is the regular version, so to speak, that is coming out from Arrow. You get a 4K version, and there's a Blu-ray version of the same thing. So you can kind of take your pick. And then kind of like Arrow's been doing lately, they're doing their own limited version on their website. And instead of it being Pinhead, it is the Chatterer. So that's what we're looking at for packaging. So here's my critique. I think this art sucks.
Can we talk sensibly?
He almost looks like he's pleasantly happy, but because he's like watching his grandkids or something, not that he's watching someone get tortured. There's like this stupid face he's got on. I don't like this illustration. I know that they're representing his outfit here, but this kind of almost makes it look like he's wearing a cape. Maybe I'm just being hypercritical, but I just don't like in general how this illustration comes across. I think the Chatterer looks cool, but he's not who I want on the main cover. It should be Pinhead, and he should be represented well. Yeah, take a look at that.
Oh, yeah. I like this cover a lot. I like the Scarlet Box cover more than...
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, it looks menacing. It looks like him staring into your soul. Now, let's talk about the packaging, because this is where I'm going to draw the line in the sand. Now, you could be saying, I want that 4K. That's what I have to have. I need to upgrade. And when it comes to these bigger box sets, I feel like the package does mean a lot.
Especially a package of films that has sensational imagery.
This is basically pretty standard Arrow fare, in my opinion. So you've got like they're probably a little bit of a wider hardback box. Inside, there's like a slide out box with Pinhead's skin off of it. And if I could guess, the front probably has holes in it. So like when it's slide, you can probably like see it. It's probably like, got some dimension. It slides out. Inside, you've got like a digipack, looks pretty thin. It folds open. All 4 discs are in there. And then there's a hardback book, 200-page hardback book. So it's going to be a fairly sizable box, I would imagine. So it's not going to be bad per se. But then when you compare it to what you've already got on Blu-ray, which is this Scarlet Box, it doesn't slide out. It kind of has this top that just sort of like comes off when you open it up. It's got this really nice angled look. You've got this really great box. You've got all these sort of individual cases that hold all of it, with each case having its own individual badass art. There's a poster that comes in there with the art that's on the cover, the 4 discs. You've got cards. You've got some sort of concept art, like a 20-page concept art book, and that 200-page hard book too is in there. So what you're getting here is just so much more. I feel like I think the packaging is so much better. What comes inside is so much better. You're not getting these new features, and you're not getting this new transfer. But unless the transfer is like knocking my socks off, I don't know that I'm gonna need to pick that one up.
What you want is irrelevant.
You have neither of these. Are you just gonna? You'd probably get this just because you want 4K.
Yeah, and I don't think that artwork is as horrendous as you think it is.
He looks like
Information.
he's like a teenager and he hasn't gone through the Hellraiser Cenobite
I
life
agree.
yet. You know what I
agree.
mean? Like it looks like this is the origin story or something.
The pull out though is nice. I like that pull out with the red because that honestly that skinless that's in part 2, right?
No, there's skinless shit in part 1. Part 1, the Uncle Frank, he's kind of like got no skin on almost the whole movie until they.
But it's
murder.
darker.
He's in
the
like an
first
attic.
one.
Yeah,
The whole damn movie's in an attic pretty much.
There have been a lot of people that have hit us up to say, hey, get this before the scalpers do, like that kind of shit. And I appreciate that. I just don't know that I'm jumping out to get this. Probably close to $100, it looks like right now, with shipping if you were to order from Amazon UK, which to me is quite a bit. Like I'd probably wait for this to come down to about 60. If I was going to go to 4K at this point, because I don't need 3 and I don't need Bloodline,
No.
give me a badass 4K steelbook of 1 or 2 or both. That's probably where I might go in. Kind of like I did with RoboCop. Like I didn't buy the whole new set they put out. I just got the cool ass steelbook that went with it. And
That's exactly what I did.
yeah, dude. Like that's the way for me. And I feel like now that the 4K is out, someone will get their hands on it, do a steelbook with it. I think I would probably jump at that. I just don't know that I'm gonna go and buy 4 movies, 2 of which I'll never watch, including work prints, for $100. You know what I mean? So I think that's where I'm at. I already got the packaging I like, so Jesus wept.
Let me ask you this: if you didn't own the Scarlet Box, would this be an immediate pre-order?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna just go to 4K because that's what you got to go for at this point. You know, like I wouldn't go backwards in time just because the packaging's cool. Like I said, give me 1 and 2 in a steel book. I'll join you.
If you throw in Mob Deep, Hell on Earth, I'll pick up a copy.
Maybe.